Hello and welcome to the S3 Hosting for Beginners video course. You've made a smart choice on deciding to get access to this course so that you can begin to set up your Amazon S3 account and begin to upload big video files, audio files, or even images, or any file that you want to upload to your account and save a lot of money. So my goal and the purpose of this video course is to get you to that point. So I'm going to keep this simple, straightforward, and to the point. So first things first, what I want to do now is give you a quick overview of the video course so you know exactly what to expect. And that way you'll see the step-by-step process and you'll be able to implement it at a faster rate. So obviously this is video number 1, which is the introduction and quick overview. Video number 2, I'm going to talk about calculating your costs. It's good to have an idea of your numbers and potential budgeting so that you can kind of put money aside for your monthly and yearly budget. Now, I will say with Amazon S3, you're going to save a lot of money. In fact, when we took the move from a dedicated $300 per month server to Amazon S3, we now pay about $30 a month. And we're utilizing a good amount of bandwidth, which you'll see more in video number 2, which is going to be an eye-opening experience. So video number 3, we're going to talk about what you need. So there are a few things you need before you can get started. Video number 4, we'll talk about the recommended softwares and why. Video number 5, we'll connect to S3 utilizing those softwares. We'll create buckets and folders in video number 6. Video number 7 is going to be about protecting your Amazon bucket by preventing unauthorized access. So a lot of people are unaware of this, but they create an Amazon bucket. They set everything up on their download page and people begin to download the files. That's great and all, but a lot of people forget to protect the bucket. So what ends up happening is people share those links or they put it on their own site, and then guess what? They're utilizing bandwidth that you have to pay for. So this is a very important step, and I'm going to show you how to do it right. Video number 8, we're going to talk about transferring files from the PC or your Mac to your Amazon S3 account. And of course, last but not least, video number 9, we're going to talk about getting the URL to each file. So this is crucial, especially when you begin to build out your download pages. You need to have the direct link, right? So what I want to do right now is just to create a flow chart so that you can visually see what is happening as far as integrating your existing web hosting account with Amazon S3. So I want to make sure that you understand that you're not replacing your web hosting account, but rather what you can do is you can size it down while using Amazon S3. So right now you have a web hosting account, right? And some of you could be paying $10, $20 a month. You could have your virtual private server and you could be paying $130 a month. Or you could have your dedicated server and eventually hit that $200 to $300 per month. Now, by using Amazon S3, what it does is it alleviates the burden of having to host tons of heavy duty files like video files, audio files, and images. So what ends up happening is, yes, your web hosting account works now and you could be paying a low fee. But over time, what's going to happen is as your company grows or as your website grows, you'll get more and more visitors, right? So the more visitors you get, the heavier of the burden it has on that particular web hosting account or server. And then what will happen is the web hosting company just asks you to, they'll say something like, well, you're maxing out your account, so you're going to need to upgrade to the next level. And ultimately you're going to find yourself paying for a dedicated server. Now, what Amazon S3 allows you to do is allows you to grow on a long-term basis without having that burden. So you can essentially get a cheap virtual private server for $25 and host your domain here. And then place all the images, videos, audio files, just big files that people are going to download or utilize your bandwidth. And you can place them on the Amazon S3 account. So what that does is it alleviates you from having to actually step up to the next level, and so forth. So actually what happened was we had a dedicated server, and we actually moved down to a cheap $50 per month virtual private server. So now what we do is we use that as a virtual private server, meaning that what other people do does not impact our actual account. So now we have a cheap web hosting account, and we link the images, the videos, the audio, and the big files over here. Because with Amazon, what's nice about this is you could have thousands of people per day accessing the Amazon S3 servers, and it's not going to phase them. It's not going to crash your account or anything. The people that are visiting here, they are going to just go to your basic yourdomain.com. They might be visiting your WordPress site, but all the images are and videos and everything are over here. Now, you could put the images here and just stick the big videos, audios, or big files over here. That's something that we did during product launches, for example, is we found that a spike of traffic can crash your whole server. But by placing, before Amazon S3 was available, we would place the images, videos, and audios and big files on a different server. And that's how we would combat this whole situation. So I just want to make that clear, that you understand that this doesn't necessarily replace this. You still have the web hosting account. You still have WordPress on this account. You can still have images. But the whole goal is to alleviate that burden. All right. So now that you understand how it works, let's move on to the next videos, and I'm going to show you how to actually get this done. So with that said, let's just jump straight in and go into video number 2, and we'll talk about calculating your costs so you know exactly what to put aside as far as your budget. Hello and welcome back to video number 2, which is calculating your costs for your monthly budget and potentially your yearly budget. Okay, so now what we want to do is you want to head on over to calculator.s3.amazon.aws.com/index.html. So once you enter that, you will be sent to this page, and we can begin to budget your monthly and yearly costs. Now, in order to do this, we want to go to the left-hand side and click on Amazon S3. Now, it's going to ask you to choose your region. What the region is basically you're going to have the option when you create your buckets to specify a region. Now, I would advise you to pick a region where most of your audience is going to be. So if I feel like, okay, most of my customers or prospects are going to be in the United States, I might want to choose something in the United States here. So I'm just going to choose this one here. Now, standard storage is merely the amount of stores that you expect to use in a month. So in other words, how much are you going to upload? Now, realistically, most of you are probably going to upload max a couple gigs. Now, for those of you who are heavy users, you might say a max of 100 gigabytes. Now, imagine this. Your web hosting company, most of them, in order to upload like 100 gigs, you're at least paying $50 to $100 per month. Now, look at this. If I scroll up here, you can see it automatically shows you your estimated monthly bill. You only have to pay $2. So imagine the possibilities. Now let's talk about bandwidth, which is basically if you upload 100 gigabytes of video files, audio files, really large files, and people are actually watching these videos, listening to these audio files. Basically, if you have a file or a video file that's, let's say, for example, 20 megabytes. If it's 20 megabytes, then you send, let's say, 100 visitors who those 100 people watch that one video, then it's 100 times 20, which is 2,000, which is 2,000 megabytes, which is basically 2 gigs. So in this case, I just want to show you this. We have data transfer out, data transfer in. So these two are the ones that you will primarily be looking at. So let's try to max it out. Let's say, for example, that we have 500 gigs per month data transfer out and 500 gigs in. How much is that going to cost me? $55 per month, which is not a lot of money compared to web hosting companies that usually promise you unlimited plans, and realistically, there is no unlimited plan. So let's max it out, and let's just say 500 gigs out and 500 gigs in. Now, I will be honest, most of you will never really reach even 300 gigs in and out. So if that's the case, then you're paying only $37 per month. You see, so for example, I have about 100 gigabytes worth of storage space, and I'm using about 300 to 500 gigs in and out. And this considerably is, I've got thousands and thousands of people coming to the site watching videos at all times. So unless you're at that point, you're not even going to have to pay anywhere close to $27. So I would say the majority of you, if you're just getting started, or even if you are a heavy user and you do have thousands of people visiting your site, you're more likely to be about in the range of 150. So even that case, you have a $14 monthly bill. So $14 monthly bill, that times 12, we'll just do 15. It's about $180. So that is a lot better, and considerably, it's a lot faster compared to web hosting companies. And we've tested this over the years and found that Amazon S3 is just saves you a lot of money and headache in the long term. So this allows you to have a basic web hosting account where you can put your website on it, but then put all the heavy files like the images and the videos and the audio files and the big files on Amazon S3. So now that you know how to budget, let's move on to the next video. Welcome to video number 3. We're going to discuss what you need before you can get started. So what you need to go ahead and do is open up your internet browser, go to the website aws.amazon.com/S3. That's aws.amazon.com/S3. And you're going to see this particular Amazon S3 site. It's also known as Amazon Simple Storage Service, same thing as S3. So what you need to go ahead and do is, if you don't have an AWS account, go ahead, click Create an AWS account. And then next, you need to log into your account. And if you go to the billing dashboard right here, you go down to payment methods. What you need to do is you need to add a credit card for this to work. So go ahead and do that now. And in the next video, we'll discuss different recommended softwares that you can use. Welcome back. This is video number 4. We're going to talk about recommended softwares and why we recommend each one. So back in the day, before a lot of these softwares evolved, you had to go to Amazon, you had to mess with all the technical buckets, and you would have to figure out all the technical documentation. But now, because there are softwares that all you pretty much have to do is get your secret and access ID connected to your Amazon account and to the software, the system will actually create the buckets for you within the program itself, which we'll walk you through step by step so you won't get lost. But with that said, Cloudberry Lab is one of the ones that we recommend and that we will be using in this particular video course. Now, to get here, you go to cloudberrylab.com, you click on products, and you click on Amazon S3. Now, what we like about Cloudberry is they offer you a lot of good educational information. So beyond this video course, you can learn a lot and a lot of updated materials, such as I'll show you later how you can get access to access policies, or in other words, ways to protect your Amazon buckets. But beyond that, Cloudberry also allows you to connect to FTP or your website and other file hosting servers. So there is actually a free version which you can download, and then of course they have a pro version. So if you just want to start out with the free version first, and then you feel like you can upgrade to the pro version and you want to upload files at a faster rate, you can do that. The second software is S3, and same goes for that. It's only compatible with Windows clients. Now, the S3 browser, it also has a free version, which you can download. A lot of them are very, very similar, but produce the same results. Now, if you use a Mac computer, so another software that we recommend is cyberduck.io. That's cyberduck.io. And when you go to the site, as you can see, this is compatible with FTP, S3. As you can see, it is compatible with both Windows and Mac. So I just wanted to show you this if you are a Mac user. Now, another option that you can take is by using the S3 Fox, which is a plugin for Firefox. So to get here, basically search for S3 Fox Firefox plugin, and you'll go here. Now, while this does allow you to connect and upload files for free, the problem with this is it doesn't have as many features as S3 Browser, Cloudberry, or the other programs have. So just keep that in mind when you are going through and deciding on which software is best for you. Hello and welcome to video number 5. We're going to discuss how to connect your software to your S3 account so you can begin to upload files. Okay, so the step number 1 consists of you opening up your Cloudberry S3 or S3 browser, or even the CyberDuck if you're using a Mac computer. Most of them are very, very similar. Now in Cloudberry, we're using this because we really like Cloudberry. We've used other softwares before and we just like Cloudberry. So really it comes down to your preference. Now they're all the same. Now with Cloudberry, what you can do is on the left-hand side, you're going to see source. So under source, it says my computer. So we click this drop-down menu and we click on new storage account. Now with Cloudberry, it gives you a ton of different options. Now you don't really need most of these options, but it gives you the option to connect to your website FTP. And what you can do is you can actually transfer files from your FTP or your website to Amazon S3. So that's a nice thing. If you want to transfer files from here to here or from your computer to Amazon S3, you have the option to do that. So what we need to do is we need to create an Amazon S3 storage account. So we click this, double click it. Now it's going to ask you for the display name, which is basically, it tells you what the account is, and that's just for you. Next, it's going to ask you to enter your access and secret keys. And these are two items that you can only get from your Amazon account. Now, the same with S3 Fox or S3 Browser or CyberDuck. They're all going to ask you for the access key and secret key. What's nice about this is once you get the key, it'll connect to the system and you don't need to worry about creating buckets within the Amazon S3 dashboard, which is something that you used to do. So you can do everything within the program itself. So now what I want to do is step 2 is to show you where to get these access and secret keys. Now, assuming that you have created the Amazon AWS account, what you need to do next is, after you have added your credit card, is up at the top, click on your account name and click on My Security Credentials. So at this point, it's going to forward you to this particular page. It's going to say you're accessing the security credentials for your AWS account. So click continue. And then next, we need to go under this item here, access keys. And then of course, you're going to see create access key. Now keep in mind that you can only have 2 active access key IDs. You cannot have more. So if you need to make more inactive, you just click on make inactive. Once you click on create new access key, it'll create a brand new access key and it'll create those 2 keys that you need. So once you have those 2 keys, all you have to do is enter the access key in here, secret key in here, and that's it. And then you're good to go. Once you're done with that, you click on OK, and then you will have an account created within here. So now all you need to do is simply select that particular account, and that's all you have to do right now.